for a foot or an inch, yeah, I fight for you all. It's the truth and I'm in, yeah, I fight for every breath that I
What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohemian, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm gonna pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
Announcement from Benjamin C. Steele talking to you about wearing a mask. Not this one, but this one. With everything going on right now with this pandemic, you need to wear a mask. My mask is for your safety. Your mask is for mine. I don't care what your uncles, brothers, best friends, mailman's roommate from college put on social media. Chances are they didn't think it through, and there's a very better than average chance that they're an idiot. So when you go outside, you put on your little mask over your face, put the little straps around your ears, and we're all going to be a lot safer. This is a team.
Parental discretion is advised.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Just Pro Wrestling News Podcast. No filler, no pop-ups. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the...
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, the longest running episodic wrestling podcast, I think. We've never vetted that.
No.
We're not?
I listened to one that's gone longer.
What they got us by?
They got us by maybe 8 months.
8 months?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. Well, you know what? If I counted our streaming days before we were official podcast, we have it on some people. But that's not what it's about. You know what it's actually about? It's about wrestling
But
tonight.
you know what, Sorg? First is the worst, second is the best.
But this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. I am your master of ceremonies, Sorgatron, and Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And we have a fun show not actually planned for you tonight. So the Riz was on the Awesome Cast and was amazed by the organization on that show an hour ago. So he's like, what do you mean you're sending me a doc? What are these stories to talk about? What's happening right now? But this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, and with us is from Beacon, New York, the only Mayhemmer with a future endeavor letter from the WWE, and coming from the couch? Wait.
Yes.
Wait a minute. I wish I would turn the other camera on so we could do a comparison shot. You are on the couch in the studio, but I'm also looking at the couch in the studio. And that doesn't match. Hold on, I need to take a picture for Instagram later for this. So, what the hell are you doing for those on audio are confused by me?
Sorg, so I watched WandaVision on Friday.
Okay.
I found this book buried in my basement at my mom's house, and it looked remarkably similar. So I'm like, what's the harm in reading is fundamental. I'm actually talking to you from an alternate universe.
Where you're actually in Pittsburgh?
Yeah. Ironically, though, you are in Beacon.
Wait.
I looked you up. You're not even a podcaster. It's very weird.
It's weird? What am I doing there?
You're in transponding. It's actually a thing in this universe. It's very weird.
Transponding?
Yeah. That's why if it seems like I'm a little bit glitchy, I am communicating through the nexus of all realities. So forgive me.
Okay. I'm glad you brought your I'm a Hugger shirt to the alternate reality and my couch.
Hey, I want to seem friendly, and plus, this one doesn't have COVID, so I can actually hug people.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
It's fantastic. It's great. They don't even know what coronavirus is. I'm like, oh boy, do I have a tale for you.
Best universe ever. What do you I don't know where to start.
DP says he's a witch.
Also with us, he is a contributor to PWMania.com and the voice of Fight Underground. Also, we know his voice from several shows for several years of shows at Rise Wrestling with a Y. Jim LaMotta is joining us, first time on the show.
Yes, Sorg. After 15 years and hundreds of shows, you have finally run out of important guests. So I am here to take that spot. I am not in an alternative reality. Unfortunately, I'm still riding out the pandemic with the rest of the world. But I'm glad that wherever Mad Mike is, he can hug people.
That's right. That's right. Hey, thank you for joining us. It's one of those you've been meant to get on the show, but for whatever reason, I don't know, getting you out here to the studio or whatever, and I was like, you know what, man? Let's do this. Let's make this happen. Let's get you on the show. I think you would have. I need somebody else with opinions about AEW on the show. So thank you for joining us.
I think that supports my point. You've just run out of other bodies to be here. So here I am.
Maybe I needed a filler spot for the Amazon Prime special comedian we have on next week. I don't know. So
Amazon Prime special.
Yes.
Hey.
There you go. Coming soon. But anyways, this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Please go check out everything at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. You can check out that email address.
Good time.
Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. And, of course, you can, doing the things. Of course, you can go to, what did I say? I said wrestling. Oh, hey, call us.
Call us when you're drunk.
412-206-WMS0 is that phone number. It is probably already under your ex's address book number so that you don't make that mistake again. And you can make all new mistakes with us.
And when it gets closer to Christmas, put it under Santa Claus's number.
Just put it everywhere.
That's a good trick for the kids, because then you can say you're going to call Santa and then leave us messages about how terrible your kids are being.
We'll play them on the show, sure.
Oh, hell yeah, absolutely.
And, of course, we're on Facebook. Please check out the Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook page and group. A lot of great discussion. Our biggest community is over on the Facebook page, group. So please join us over there. And, of course, we're live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Facebook Live, on the Wrestling Mayhem Show YouTube page, and over on the Sorgatron Media Twitch page. So however you would like to enjoy the show. The most active chat is, of course, on our Facebook, but whatever is convenient for you. Some people Chromecast it to their television so that Mad Mike's head is even bigger.
I'm so sorry for you people. I apologize.
That's what I did those weeks when Matt was taking over the show. I was observing the show from my couch, and you guys were on the big 42-inch. So,
wow,
yeah,
that's the first time I've ever been 42 inches, Sorg.
Oh, heyo. And of course, please, the old school, since we are technically a podcast, we pod our casts over on all of your iTunes podcasts, or Apple Podcasts, or wherever it may be. Please subscribe there so you don't miss an episode if you're not checking out the sweet live video version here. And please rate and review us. I could use some new reviews that don't tell us about people that aren't on the show anymore. So that would be appreciated. And, of course, thank you to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. We'll double check to make sure I haven't missed anybody here. But in the meantime, our friends at the fan of the show level, Bo Diggity! Woo! Hey, good job, Mike. You didn't trip the the limiter this time.
I remember.
That's right. I mean, we've been learning this Zoom thing the last couple of weeks, and where the bugs are in it. But also on those levels, at that level is Ed Burke and Bobby F. J. Town and Team Hammer Fist. At the Poppy Club level is Dave Podner. At the Pizza Club level is Doc Remedy and Kyle Turner. And at the manager level, Farnsworth Investments, Bradley Brothers. I was waiting for you, Mike.
Sorg, no.
Is there a butt truce?
For now.
Okay. Wow.
Bradley was very sweet. He donated to my friend's GoFundMe. I saw he donated last week. So for the remainder of the month of March, I will refer to you as Bradley.
Wow.
Yes.
Big stuff happening between that and for those that didn't, I gotta get back to the Patreon, but for those that didn't catch last night's Monday night show, there is also a truce on the AEW women's division fight we had last week.
I'm giving up speaking ill of that division for the rest of Lent.
That's right. Yes. So if you're worried about, and thank you everybody who's apparently messaged both of us asking if we were okay. That's what's appreciated. And also, we also appreciate the rest of our Patreon manager level, our friends Tina Keys out there in Tina Time West Coast, The Riz Plays Games, Mad Mike, you're in there, and OccupyProWrestling.com. It is obviously Mayhem Mania season. Do we have a date for Patreon in the bank?
That would be a question for Mr. Carlin.
Well, we can ask that later here in the show for Mayhem Mania.
I think it's usually 2 weeks before Mania.
Yeah. I don't know.
So if I had to guess, it's probably
right, but we don't know how far in advance we can submit tickets and have the COVID protocols. So, we'll see. We'll see about that. So, and of course, please, everybody support the show if you can, if you will, at patreon.com/Wrestling awesome cast here on the 756th edition of the Wrestling Mayhem Show. And I'm just double checking because everybody's been slipping in at the last minute. I missed something on Awesome Cast last week. I apologize. I know I have on this show a couple of times. Just making sure nobody else has done anything that I need to announce. So the biggest thing this past weekend is explosions on barbed wire and Revolution, or at least that we're talking about. So AEW Revolution. There's actually. Can we roll?
That says March 30th. Patreon on the back.
March 30th is the official date. Ooh,
yes.
You put that on a calendar. Can we first of all, before we talk about Revolution, because I feel like we always miss out on talking about like last Wednesday's stuff.
Oh yeah, we definitely need to talk about that.
Somebody asked me when they were doing a bit for something else. They're like, "Should we talk about Shaq? Will he still be relevant when this comes out?" I'm like, "Sir, he got disappeared out of an ambulance. I think he's coming back." So,
yeah, he's coming back to fight Paul White.
Yeah. Oh, I got another bit on that too. So Shaquille O'Neal debuted as a wrestler in AEW to kick off Dynamite last Wednesday. His match, him with Jade Cargill.
Jade Cargill.
Thank you. There's been a lot between then and now. Against Cody Rhodes and
Red Velvet.
Thank you for that. I had a feeling something was coming. Shaq did good. Gotta be honest.
It was fine.
Yeah, but wait.
No, it was fine. It's not my cup of tea.
No. You're not. Yeah, you're not in these celebs for being celeb.
No.
We know that.
It's not that. It's not that because when Stephen Amell showed up, I was all for it because the man worked his ass off.
Okay.
Shaq, the Brody tribute was very nice. Other than that,
Now wait. Okay. Okay. So Shaq.
He's no LT. He's no Pat McAfee.
No. Well, he's also a lot older. Has a lot. He has a lot more miles on him. He's in great shape for his age, and they can. He didn't have to do a lot. Yes, he did a couple, but he did a power bomb. He went through a table mic.
Yeah. No, I know. That was fine.
It was fine.
Like I said, it was fine. It didn't blow my hair back. But it was fine. I'm glad they got it out of the way in the beginning of the show.
I think it was a good look for both those girls. A lot of people know who they are now because of this. So hopefully that turns into something. We'll see. We'll see.
I hope they follow up.
Yes, absolutely. So, so we'll see what happens there. But I thought it was fantastic for what they did. I can't believe they did it on TV. But again, we're talking TNT, and there's a lot of crossover there.
I think they did on TV because the match was edited.
I thought that was a live show last week.
From what I've heard, I think that match was edited.
If the show was edited, why did we leave Shaq creeping out to the middle of hard cam to telegraph his table spot so bad?
Because there's only so many things you can edit out. So.
Okay, I mean there's other cameras, man. That's something that's something I'd cover up and have in the past. So live. So and I got a lot less resources than Dynamite.
Gina says he did better than Karl Malone and Dennis Rodman. I strongly disagree with that. Karl Malone was fucking great.
Karl Malone was great. I would put him above Rodman.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Jack,
good.
Rodman would sleep on the turnbuckle for Christ's sake.
LaMotta, did you watch the Shaq match?
Yes, I have thoughts.
Okay.
I didn't want to talk over everybody because this is new technology for me, so I didn't want to jump in too much.
Leave some space. It's fine.
The second word of the show is mayhem. It's fine.
I think they went too long, but that doesn't matter when you have the Sports Center moment. If it was up to me, you do a 6-minute match, get in, get the table spot, get out, you have your press moment. That being said, I think it was mission accomplished. The ambulance thing was weird. I'm not sure. It was too out of left field. But as far as pushing the brand, which is what I think that match was about, I think mission accomplished.
Good.
I don't think it was better than LT because if you go back and watch that match, LT is so blown up that Bam Bam Bigelow has to carry him around the ring. But definitely not as good as Karl Malone. To me, Karl Malone is the crossover basketball professional wrestling star of all time.
There you go.
Yeah.
I also have appreciation for Kevin Green. I think he might have been a better
I have more appreciation for Mongo.
It's a different kind of appreciation, isn't it?
No.
I feel like Kevin Green might have been a better wrestler than Mongo.
All right,
Kevin
maybe.
is definitely a better wrestler than Mongo.
I like Mongo.
I like Mongo. But
Listen, we all love Mongo, but there's a difference here. We all love Mongo for all the wrong reasons.
we love
to
Mongo,
be fair,
but
one of the right reasons is his tiny dog.
yes. Oh, it was one of my favorite things. I'm like, look at this guy with a tiny dog. It's on a commentary. What is happening on this channel? So
And the dog had like those googly-eyed glasses every week.
Absolutely. If I thought my dog would stay there, I would just hold my Chihuahua at Wicket during these shows. If I didn't have to touch everything on the in front of me here to make this show work. But no, I think it was a good thing. I think they're lead into that show got weird because obviously all the big stuff happened in the front of the show. But and then it just turned into here's the battle royal. It was like, wait, didn't we do this like 2 weeks ago with WrestleMania or Royal Rumble on the other channel? But anyway, so that's fine. That's fine. It wasn't the worst thing in the world, right?
I want someone to tell me how many times TNA has done a tag team battle royal. Sorry, TNA.
AEW?
AEW has done a tag team battle royal.
Dude, they love them. Dude, I'll take it.
No, it's too much.
It's too much. I love it.
Sorg, just there were too many teams.
The
There
division
were
is
too many.
It reminds you that the division is deep. Everybody gets some FaceTime. The entire the entire first hour of the pay-per-view is dedicated to your tag team division. When we talk about what divisions get how much time, like that's that's great for the tag teams, right?
There's something called an embarrassment of riches, though, because it's not like all of these teams have stories. It's not like that. It's not like WWE's tag team division, like in the mid '90s.
So
like,
right.
what exactly is Bear Country's story?
Actually,
do you know the names of the members of Bear Country?
I do
because
not.
I sure don't.
But I do know that Taz loves to visit Bear Country in upstate New York, and I know that Bear Country has been in a feud with is it Butcher and the Blade, I think, over on Dark. So that's happening. Stuff that SCU has been happening. There was a bit.
All right, SCU. Me. Because they were on TV like a month or so ago.
Right.
They said the next time we lose a tag team match, we're breaking up.
Yes. The Battle Royal doesn't count. It's not a tag team match. It's not a tag team rules match.
I mean, it is.
Okay. We can dice that up.
But like they don't even mention that.
But we have that. We have we have a lot of other fun mixed tag teams happening too on Dark that didn't get to see the light of day there. But I mean, we got that parties involved with stuff with Matt Hardy. They're obviously in transition because we focused on Hardy this pay-per-view, but they were doing stuff over on Impact.
Like, why wasn't FTR in that Battle Royal?
Oh, why wasn't FTR on this pay-per-view, right? Well, there's probably a reason, because we obviously had the return of Tully Blanchard after like 30 years to a ring, which was I loved it. I loved it, by the way.
Hated
of course you hated it. But I loved it. Tully Blanchard in there, actually kind of doing some stuff. The acknowledgement by Arn Anderson at the end. It was just...
Which was stupid.
Why was it stupid? Come
Arn
on.
is a face.
Yeah, but kind of a little blood is thicker than water thing.
Like,
come on.
Arn is a face.
Yes.
It made no sense.
Yeah.
Tully's ring gear is like a full-blown costume on AEW shop.
Really?
That ring gear was amazing. That needs to be like the loungewear of 2021. Tremendous.
Can I get Tully's tracksuit from his wrestling match and one of those sweet New Japan Pro Wrestling full body suits that I know We Watch Wrestling was really hot on. I think they all got one and got a picture, right? But because that is then I would just wear it around the studio. Like that's just my hello, welcome to Sorgatron Media. As I'm laying on the couch, if we have a secretary, that's what they'll wear. So like this is sorry.
I don't think that's the look you want at all.
This is the dress code. This is the dress code. So Anyways, no, there's a lot of fun with that show. So the pay-per-view itself, let's talk about the biggest new official signing to AEW that we will be seeing again this Wednesday, and that was our
All
big,
ego Ethan Page.
No, that's not the one, Mike. I'm talking about Maki Ito.
Yes. Okay. Fair.
Maki
We were
Ito.
both going for the same joke, but we.
Right. You went the wrong way. I was going more ambiguous. Because I keep forgetting about Ethan Page. But no.
Someone's got to remember.
On the buy-in, a great tag team match. Rebel was Reba? Rebel? I don't know.
No, they don't know either.
They don't know either. It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. But
her name is actually Rebel.
Yes.
But Britt keeps calling her Reba.
Yes, that's the idea.
It's very much like Archer.
Yes.
Like the Cheryl and Carol thing.
Jim, I've been carrying your flag for Rebel in my when I talk about her every time.
He says, "Surprise, motherfucking simps."
What? That's a her thing. I got it.
Rebel.
So
Hold on, wait a minute.
what?
For Rebel's involvement of standing outside the ring on Dynamite
Mm-hmm.
and on the pay-per-view is about as effective as she's going to be. And I'll leave it at that so I don't get in trouble.
But maybe we'll let you say more on Patreon. I don't know.
Rebel was fine when she had to pretend she didn't know what she was doing.
Oh, expert at it, right?
If her gimmick is an incompetent performer, she's 5 stars all the way.
Actually, that is her gimmick. So
Yeah,
I mean,
actually.
art imitating, life imitating.
Nail on the head. We love you, Britt. And to be fair, the thing with Britt and her is actually pretty great.
It works
as a thing.
It
right.
works.
Even it's I can take that pairing versus another friend of the show pairing that's happening over on Raw. That
worst dental assistant
that
ever.
Worst dental assistant ever. Absolutely. But so we got Maki Ito in a match with Thunder Rosa and Riho. And she will be a part of a 6-man woman tag. I'm sorry, over on Dynamite this Wednesday. I am looking forward to that. I don't care what you're doing on USA Network.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's fantastic.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we having a title match over there? You know what? I'll watch it on Thursday.
To be fair, that's gonna be really good.
That is gonna be pretty fantastic.
Dude, NXT is gonna be really good this week, depending on what those announcements are, which I'm a little scared about.
A little bit.
A little scared about those announcements. I'm assuming one of them is gonna be potentially a move to Tuesdays.
Yeah, we see you, WWE.
Well, no, they're doing it because of hockey.
Hockey? Oh, yeah.
Because NBC Sports Network is going away.
Yeah, okay. That's a good excuse.
Yeah. But if the other rumor is true about women's tag titles for NXT,
unnecessary.
Yep, very much so.
Completely unnecessary.
If there's a show that can carry it, it's NXT. Is it necessary for them to have it? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Honestly, now if they wanted to do it where it was NXT women's titles, but tag teams from any brand could come and challenge them, yes, 1,000%. But that I don't think that's what they're gonna be doing.
When you can't feature women profoundly on your 3-hour program during International or Women's History Month or International Women's Day, all the holidays were apparently yesterday. I think that's, and of course. I have been doing great on the booking this month, but hi, Jim. For International Women's Month History Day, something. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
On a positive note, Sorg, as far as International Women's Day, I need to say this about Maki Ito. She's an example of one of those performers, and then, I mean, there's a variety of them depending on which promotion you look at. Some people just translate any perceived language barrier. They're just that charismatic. Language is in. She has it. I know she's not supposed to be in the United States full time, but if I'm AEW, you bring her over here, you buy her a nice condo in Jacksonville, and use her as much as you possibly can. She has a hit factor, and for a company that's continuing to try to expand, you need as many of those players on your roster as you can get.
Right.
Oh, I say you give her the belt right away.
I think it's a little hot shotty, but I think being in play, you know
what? Sometimes hot shots can be fun.
Riho is absolutely talented, but again, I don't think she translates right on that scale that they need to on Wednesdays. So I don't know, but there's a lot of opportunity there. I thought the championship match was great on the pay-per-view.
It was lovely.
Guys, let's stop fucking around.
Well, no, I want to talk about actual Christian for a second before we get.
Okay. Let's get to Christian.
Before we get to the fireworks factory.
Well, I was gonna get to there's three news high points from the pay-per-view. One is Christian, and we'll go through them here. One is Christian getting signed. I listened to the Renee Young
as did I
interview today with him. So you have something you want to say about that?
Yeah. Now, I want to be clear before I say what I'm going to say. I love Christian. I am a huge Christian fan. I am beyond happy that he's cleared to wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm beyond happy that he's healthy. I'm beyond happy that he's getting paid to wrestle. AEW does not need him. I'm going to say because AEW has a lot of veteran talent already.
Right.
I realize he's going to be helping backstage with stuff like that, and okay, that's fine. But I feel like he's going to detract from the younger talent in AEW, which I think has been happening a lot already with this crossover stuff.
Okay.
And I feel like it's taking away from what they originally set out to be, and it screams TNA to me.
Maybe because they actually used and remixed the TNA music for that.
All of this is screaming TNA to me. Like I saw an image this weekend where it was a Scooby-Doo parody thing where like Fred has kidnapped Tony Khan, then they pull the mask off and it's Dixie Carter.
Okay, I understand.
I know we're not there yet.
I understand
we're not there yet.
Your fears. I want to take it to LaMotta here for a moment. And what are your thoughts on Christian Cage coming over to AEW?
I agree with Mad Mike, but from a different perspective. I think the Christian signing, in and of itself, he is a solid in-ring performer. He's great. Absolutely no issue with him as a quality talent. However, AEW made the mistake of overhyping the signing, because when you have to quote-unquote drop in throughout the week on podcasts, when you say it's Hall of Fame worthy, 95% of the time in professional wrestling, these announcements do not live up to the hype, and the payoff is way less than it would have been if it would have been just a complete surprise. Christian is absolutely great. However, the hype that they put around this thing, they made it sound like this was going to be a mainstream guy. Talking about CM Punk or Batista
or Brock Lesnar.
If you look at it from a realistical standpoint, CM Punk's probably done with wrestling forever.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they could ever get Brock Lesnar because Vince McMahon would throw him more money than even Tony Khan would be willing to offer him. But as great as Christian is, he's not a mainstream guy. And that's not a knock, because there's only a handful of mainstream guys that are still involved in professional wrestling today. I think they took the absolute wrong tactic. It should have been a complete surprise. Don't hype it up. Just have the lights go out. Christian shows up. And everybody's like, wow, Christian's here. That being said, he's 47 years old. And I'm not sure. I mean, similar to what Mad Mike said, he's a great talent. But just because someone's great, they need to be able to fit into AEW. And outside of a few that were in ring matches, I'm not sure that Christian moves the needle for All Elite Wrestling.
Well, I don't know if it moves the needle, if it enhances and they get some good matches, and he's going to be an elevator, with things, and that seems to be the deal, to me at least, right? And I think more that roster is the roster and the young talent being featured that maybe not full-time signees is deep, And that means more of them get the benefit from this, and potential of those more of them could become stars. Remember, this is a long tail thing. I think it's fine. Also,
how many of those feuds are they running right now?
Not number of feuds, but but there's a lot of work that he's done. Let's see what happens with Elevation after next week. Maybe there's more. There's going to be more than, hey, here's 2.5 hours of random matches that we get on Dark now. And we've had that conversation about, is that more service to helping these talents not doing something right now versus what it used to be?
But the thing is, you can elevate a talent in one feud, but there has to be follow through.
I want to also mention
Orange Cassidy opened the pay-per-view.
Right.
Orange Cassidy has done nothing since his feud with Jericho.
He did not open the pay-per-view.
Okay, but
he was a 9 o'clock hour.
He's in the lower mid card.
Yeah, so
his feud with Jericho was supposed to be what opened him up.
He's working with Miro. They had a wedding.
Miro
segment.
is nothing.
They had a wedding segment. Miro's getting built.
No,
right now.
Miro is nothing in AEW. He's absolutely nothing.
I think we got a glimpse of Miro of what's
Miro's had 6 matches in AEW.
Right.
This was his first pay-per-view. He's been there since October.
Mm-hmm. Slow burn, Mike. We got 2 hours a week.
No, it's not a slow burn. That's a dull flicker.
It's a slow
That's a Zippo lighter that he can't get to start.
He's got to get his gaming in, man. But from that, okay, we had Christian. Let's move on.
And one more thing about Christian. As a selfish fan, we could have gotten Edge versus Christian for the world title.
Could have.
On SmackDown.
I will position that I believe that, Christian said what he said on the podcast today with Renee Young.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I think he understands, and he would have more opportunity to say, if I'm going to come back and do all this, where do I want to be? Where can I do something with this? And
yeah, but you're talking about him being an elevator, not him being a champion. You can't be both.
What? What do you mean?
Like if he wants wants to look like to have a real run.
Yes.
Do you think he's going to get an AEW? Because I don't.
I think we're having disagreements on what a real run is, but that's a different conversation.
A championship run.
No, I'm talking a real run and having some good matches versus and having some feuds and having this, that, or the other thing does not mean necessarily you slap a belt on him. Okay?
It doesn't not mean that.
I don't think it does. Anyways,
Okay.
Speaking of other people coming back, and this is something I don't believe Sting. I think Sting is they dust him off once or twice a year kind of thing. So I don't think he's going to take a lot of time for what he's doing for multi-years. But I loved the aesthetic of the cinematic match. I disliked the commentary over it, so I disconnected from that, and this is like when I started falling apart. I attribute it to the best match ever between Randy and Edge when they had shots from inside the ring underneath them as they were locking up, things like that. You took me away from this idea that this is sports idea. Like, you're mixing two concepts. There's a cinematic thing and there's a cinematic thing. Time can bend, fast forward, reverse, things like that. They did those stylistic things during the Sting and Darbey Island street fight, right? So, but now you're telling me that I'm going to commentate over this thing as if it is an actual sporting event. Now you've disconnected. This is a suspend disbelief. This is a real thing, real sporting event. I'm using air quotes. And mixed it with cinematic things, so you look like a bunch of guys that are really important wrestling announcers are basically commentating over a YouTube video.
It's talking through the movie.
It's talking through the movie, yes.
It's talking through the movie. That's what it is.
You had a video with background music and atmospheric effects and all these kinds of things, and you have JR and Excalibur and Tony trying to fumble over telling you what you're seeing.
The only person that would have accepted talking over that match is Taz, because Taz has vested interest in it, and Taz can be foreseen as like you could have Taz pipe into a loudspeaker over in that building.
I think you have Taz and somebody else walking along with everybody commentating. You know what I mean? Like
a roving reporter.
Yeah,
Get
like
Alex Marvez.
yeah,
out there?
like a roving. Well, we did that. When we did the Halloween, Hardcore Halloween Prospect Pro Wrestling show. There was a thing that was a fight in the quote parking lot around the cars and a giant fire and everything. And while we didn't show the commentators, they were there. We also did not break time for the most part. We did a little bit at the end for something that happened, but they were there. And the idea is they're like, we're sitting in a car over here watching this, kind of thing. Even like that aspect, at least suspended disbelief along with the thing that was changed the rules, basically. That's where I'm at with that. We're already when we're having these Firefly Funhouse matches and Boneyard matches and the Money in the Bank in the building match, you're already taking the rules of the it's like you watch a movie, Mike, and then in the final act all the rules change. You set all this up. You set the ground rules that Mike Myers does this, this, and this. And in the third act, you found out, what the fuck you mean he's going to fly? Right? That's what I'm talking about. You're just like, what the fuck is this? This isn't Mike Myers. And you're just like, what the fuck is this? This isn't wrestling. Versus
Cinematic.
Go ahead.
I am not a fan of cinematic matches.
And that's fine.
Specifically because everything else on the wrestling show they try to present to you as the real thing. All of a sudden, this cinematic match where time can fast forward and all that stuff, and there's background music. Now all of a sudden, we're supposed to believe that like this is a real thing happening, or this is something that's plausible. And unfortunately, sort of to your point, the suspend disbelief phrase can sometimes be used to justify anything because it's wrestling. I would say, to me, the cinematic match, like, real sport, quote unquote, wrestling competition doesn't have background music.
Right.
And you don't have sound effects for the most part. I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
I mean, the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah.
To me, the cinematic match, I mean, I give Matt Hardy credit for reinventing himself, but I have never been a fan of it because it's blatantly staged. And to me, like, my spin on wrestling is from like the Bruiser Brody, Stan Hansen aspect, where you want it to look as realistic as possible. And unfortunately, there's just nothing realistic about Darby Allin throwing Sting a bat from 3 floors up.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I will be the downer and say that I don't like any cinematic match, including this one.
But
much as I like.
You brought up a good point, the Harlem Globetrotters, because the Harlem Globetrotters aren't doing goofy shit and with background music and stuff until they're in the Scooby-Doo cartoon. So it's like you watched a Harlem Globetrotters game, and in the fourth quarter, they have quarters of basketball, right? Yes. It's basically a Scooby-Doo cartoon, and you're like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Sorg, I've been to a Globetrotters game. It's a Scooby-Doo cartoon the whole time.
Oh, okay. Thank you for clarifying that. I have
no, it's the whole time, and honestly, it's great.
And
it's the whole time,
other side.
and it's quacktastic.
All right, so we got a couple other things we need to get to before Mayhem Mania. Everybody's waiting in the wings for that and ready.
And we got
poised.
some comments in the
We
chat
do have
room,
some
too.
comments. Hold those comments for a moment, Mike. We'll get those in a minute. But in the meantime, I want to remind you about IndieWrestling.us, IndieWrestling.network. You can see a lot of the first Area 1 run of Fight Underground, and our I'm calling it the IndieWrestling.us era. Because there's been a lot of talk about the old days of Rise Wrestling before we were there doing the video. But for the last, I don't know, at least over 2 years since February of 2018, we were doing Rise up until the shutdowns. I think we're about a year anniversary of the last show of Rise Wrestling. And they will be back. There's been a lot of activity on social media. Very excited to see what's going to come from them. But you can go refresh your memory there. Or, hey, this new IWTV champion, Lee Moriarty. I don't know. I've heard of that guy, I think. But we got a couple of collections of his matches with Rise Wrestling. And, of course, a lot of that has the voice of Jim LaMotta over it, calling the action and calling some great, great moments over there. So go check it out, IndieWrestling.us. Also check out, if you go under our interview section, we have the entire run of the Sunday sessions we did last month with Ronnie Nicole. to help celebrate Black History Month. She had a lot of very real conversations about Black history and wrestling with Shane Taylor from Ring of Honor, the Rev Ron Hunt, Zeke Mercer was on that. Familiar names for this show, but a lot of other got introduced to a lot of great people through that as well. So please go check all that out at indiewrestling.us. Subscribe to Indie Wrestling. Indie Mayhem Show on your podcast places. And news for that, we're scheduled to be talking with the promoters of Pro Wrestling Conquest to talk about their history, their upcoming shows, and maybe some special announcements coming up on that. And that will debut this Friday at 10 p.m. So go check all of that out. So Mike, you said we have a little bit of commentary from the chat room here. I mean, it's the Facebook chat room, I believe.
Yes. We got Alex Miller saying he wouldn't mind if Christian was the Miz of AEW.
Okay.
Matt Garland says he thinks these more recent signings are about what people can bring backstage more than what they do in ring.
Agreed.
Alex Miller also said that Miro is running his football team.
Well, there you go.
I didn't know that was a thing.
There you go.
Tina says that Darby came up with 90% of the concept. He mentioned it on a post-pay-per-view media call.
I did appreciate that it did all seem like a Darby Allin music video.
It was Tony Hawk Underground.
It was Tony Hawk Underground.
Like that's what it was, but God, the commentary just killed it.
It did for me a little bit.
The commentary killed the entire match. Like I almost couldn't be interested in it.
Yeah, it's one like it really was a sense of, man, I'd really like to hear this movie.
Yeah, it's like these guys are telling a story by like yelling at each other and stuff too. Like they're trying to do their job to the best of their ability. And you got JR screaming, "Oh, by God!"
Oh, what are they doing on there? And also misinterpreting what they're seeing, which really kills what's happening. Like, we're watching it on our full screen 50-inch, 40-inch TV or something, and they're watching on a monitor and not getting what's happening, right? Because it's not the elements they expect of a wrestling ring. You know, there's all these other things, and
which was also weird that there was a wrestling ring.
Listen, as somebody who's filmed a lot of wrestling in warehouses lately.
I'm not opposed to a wrestling ring inside a warehouse. I'm a Lucha Underground fan. But to see it in that particular warehouse was a little odd. By the way, sidebar on Lucha Underground. I was at my mother's house this weekend waiting for a rug cleaner. So I decided, hey, let's just keep watching Lucha Underground until they show up. The guys rolled in and they're getting ready to, clean the carpets in the family room. And he saw it on TV. He's like, what wrestling is this? And I'm like, oh, let me tell you. I told him the whole thing about Lucha Underground. He's like, okay, all right, I'm going to check this out. So, Tubi, you have another subscriber. Thank your boy Mad Mike.
you need to get on that. You need to get on that Tubi program over there, the affiliate program over there. I don't know what they give you because it's already free. But,
yeah, I don't know either, but I'm still here for it.
Of course. So,
I watched like 8 episodes of Lucha Underground this past weekend.
Let's see. We got a friend over on YouTube that says, I think Christian's great. We'll do well in AEW. Big surprise. He thought it was going to be Rob Van Dam.
Oh, that would have been way worse.
I'm happy we're there. And also, we don't need him getting AEW kicked off of Twitch. So I guess it's more of his lady, but so happy. He was really happy with it. So, and also he's very happy about Maki Ito. That's right.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm
Fireworks Factory.
Fireworks. Listen.
By the way, Gilbert is all elite.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I will let me just state my position on that match. I enjoyed it. I as a death match, I liked the fireworks coming off of the ropes. I thought they looked cool. I liked the inventive ways they used it. Barbed wire always makes me squeamish. As far as a blood match, I think it was not that bad. I will say on the end of it, you cannot convince me that the ending was the plan the whole time.
No. No,
You
very
cannot
much
convince
not.
me that was not the plan. And throwing the shade on Omega, who put over the fact that he built this thing, a la Undertaker creating Yokozuna's casket, to murderize Dean Ambrose. So like
Like the only way they can pass the buck is if I saw someone tweet this is if Kenny Omega trusted Michael Nakazawa to do the wiring.
I'm and that did not happen on BTE this week.
No,
though.
it didn't.
It was unfortunate.
But I'm like, that's something we're gonna see on AEW.
Side note, Maki Ito, member of Dark Order.
Potentially.
I screamed at 1:00 in the morning when I watched this thing last night. I'm like, ah! So just like when she came out on Sunday night.
Yeah.
So because Anna Jay has been injured, and they're like, who could possibly replace Anna? What are we going to do without Anna? And then here she comes into the room, and
now Maki Ito has to be number 69, right?
absolutely.
He has to be number 69.
Jeez. This was a soft death match.
Yeah. I have 3 notes on the death match.
Okay, go for it. And then Jim, you're next.
Four, and then Jim. Yes, sorry. I thought their first match was better, the lights out one. The using the explosion for a kick out of the one-winged angel was a nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
That was very, very good. That was very well done.
Side note: Bryce,
Yeah,
was fantastic.
he was the beekeeper from one division.
He was.
But I thought the only spot I thought was really cool was the baseball bat one.
Mm-hmm.
With the exploding baseball
Did
bat.
surprise
That was really cool.
the bat exploding surprise you?
Yeah. No, didn't surprise me. I appreciated it.
It wasn't just like well that happened.
No,
No,
it
okay.
didn't surprise me. Eddie Kingston is owed a lot of things.
Was that you said that, or was that another
Because
tweet?
I think I've also seen it on Twitter, but as soon as because he was selling the fuck out of it, and I saw Eddie Kingston run in, I'm like, oh, this is actually a really cool moment. This is love. This is Steve Rogers diving on the grenade in Captain America. And I was ready for it. I'm like, this is great. And then what happens. But Eddie Kingston still sells it like death. And I'm like, give this man the world title already. Give him the world title. Give him something. He needs something. He is too good to not be a major focus in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's my piece.
All right. Jim LaMotta, what is your take on the death match, exploding barbed wire death match to end all, and I believe the first ever in the America?
I have a few thoughts, Sorg, and it's going to kind of ducktail off of what you and Mike have touched on. I will say this. I was extremely disappointed, same way everybody else was, and I'll tell you why. FMW is my favorite Japanese wrestling promotion ever. So when I saw Onita on Dynamite last week, and they used FMW clips to hype up this match, you gave the audience an idea of what to expect. Here's what AEW needs to learn from this, in my opinion, because Tony Khan's a billionaire, and I'm sitting here talking to you, so clearly he's in better shape than I am. Do not overhype or promote a stipulation you cannot deliver on.
Mm-hmm.
Total dud, and unfortunately, no matter how good the match was before that happened, Revolution will be known as the pay-per-view with the Billy Joe Bob backyard fireworks, sparkworks extravaganza. The cover story that they're going to say Omega built a faulty explosion isn't going to work. Tony Khan doubled down with that explanation.
Mm-hmm.
If the explanation is it's a dud, then why was Eddie Kingston dead for several minutes?
Yeah.
And laying there winning a Grammy for, taking the bullet for his friend.
And the poor guy, didn't see the explosions to know how they went.
He didn't.
Yes.
He didn't.
In this scenario, if it was me, but again, Tony Khan's a billionaire, so who am I to criticize? I think this is one of those scenarios where you go, hey guys, sorry, we tried.
Yeah.
Things happen. This
Yeah.
didn't work out.
Well,
When you go and try to make it part of the story, you make the fans feel like you're insulting their intelligence.
yes. Two things on that. First of all, also remember Tony Khan didn't make his fortune off of wrestling like Vince McMahon did. So we do have a margin for error there, don't we? Again, pull off the mask, Jesse Carter.
And also, his football team ain't exactly successful either. So let's, we'll flip in it. Flip in all.
Yes, just seeing Ryan Edmonds' Facebook page during the season tells me what that story is. He is not happy during the season. So there's that. I had a second point, and I'm sorry I missed it.
What was it about Moxley's post-match interview? Because we should touch on that.
Yeah, because that's where we got the guy's a badass, but he can't design an exploding death match worth of shit.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I had to bleep something on Just Pro Wrestling News podcast. Please subscribe on your podcast provider. Anyways, no, it's yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I'm laughing at the end of it. Because it was one of those. Tony Khan did cover his ass a little bit about what did you expect for us to actually blow up the ring and
because that's what you promoted.
and kill people.
That's what they promoted.
That is what Tony. That is what Kenny Omega did. Yes, yes.
You're absolutely right. That's 100%.
Because it's not like they actually blow up the ring in FMW either. Like they don't.
Yeah, you can't try to double back if you're Tony Khan and sell. Well, we couldn't do this for safety wise.
Mm-hmm.
If you couldn't do it for safety wise, then just don't have the stipulation.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Ultimately, and again, I'm a huge supporter of AEW. I want to see them do well for the sake of the wrestling business. But at the end of the day, if you can't deliver on your stipulations, you burn some of the goodwill that you build up with the people. You can't have the goodwill with the fans and then double back on something like this. And that's why I think they would have been way better off to just say, hey, it didn't work. Sorry, we tried. Everybody's human. But to try to double down and come up with a swerve to cover it, not going to work. People know it was just a dud. And again, if you can't fulfill your stipulations, then you don't promote it, because this happens and it's just bad will with the people.
Absolutely.
And I want to know what the Moxley death cage was, because Kenny Omega was talking about that when they had their, Undertaker building the casket segments. There was nothing of the sort in that match.
Well, I think he referred the entire thing. Also, I have pointed out that the drawing that was used to demonstrate the Kenny Omega plan did not reflect the final product.
Not even close.
So,
did you see some poor fucking Mark got part of that drawing tattooed on him?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Some fucking Mark.
His name was Mark.
I never drop a hard M on this show. Jesus. Some fucking Mark.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That's not what you want.
Well, cover up tattoos are all the rage. So with that, hey, we're going to cut to
was there anything else from the pay-per-view you want to talk about?
I think that's the biggest stuff out of those 12 matches. So it was fun. It was fun, and it was good to watch it with people again. We did.
We should mention Scorpio Sky is now.
Oh, he's the golden donut holder.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, he is the Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Jeez.
The brass ring was the brass life preserver. That was a comically huge flat brass ring.
It was. I'm just like, wait. Oh, wait, they're little? Wait a minute.
I was waiting to see Fern Ottman show up in his tugboat outfit and, fish out.
Listen, I get what we're doing. I get the gags. I get the inside terminology. But once in a while,
sometimes it's a little much, though.
Sometimes it's a little grown.
Not everyone can be Deadpool. Someone has to be Deadpool.
And when they literally had the brass ring for that match, it was a little bit of grown.
And I'm sorry, if it's a literal grab the brass ring match, Cody should not have been in that match.
I know.
Cody owns the ring.
The only way to me that Cody should have been in that match is that's when Shaquille O'Neal we turned, took him out, and to me, Lance Archer should have been the one that had that one. But
well, I'm okay with Scorpio Sky.
mm-hmm.
I'm fine with him. He's never gotten a proper.
Oh, absolutely,
spot.
absolutely. No, that's great. Hey, nothing against Scorpio Sky. I can't wait to see what happens with him and Darby. I hope he's the next champ. To be honest, is this controversial? I don't like Darby as TNT champ.
I don't like him either.
I don't like it.
He's not the Sting of AEW, and I've said this before. He's the Raven, with not nearly as good as on the mic.
He's the skinny kid wrecking his board on a CKY video of AEW. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
No, but they keep saying he's the I looked at Sting.
Listen,
Son of himself. I'm like, no, he didn't.
Listen,
Sting was a surfer before he was ever a Brandon Lee ripoff. Like,
yeah, he was a surfer, and Darby has a board. Okay, I see the connection now.
Yeah.
I had to walk me around that one.
Although if Darby Allin came out in 90s Stinger face paint, that would be something to see.
If that's the plug for their cinematic match for Double or Nothing here in a couple months, I gotta say I'm in. I'm pretty in for that.
Cold Darby.
If you're gonna say give me 90s surfer Darby Allin, I think you're going to deliver on your promises, and AEW got more of my money. So there you go, guys. They're knocking on the door, the virtual door for Mayhem Mania, because people need to settle some scores here. In the meantime, we're gonna settle some hunger with our friends at Slice on Broadway. New York City style. Yins are made. Beachview, Carnegie, East End, North Hills. Sorry, Tina. Here in Pittsburgh. But I also want to start part 1 of our 6-part series with Slice on Broadway. On the side of their boxes, there's a cool thing they have. They have these new boxes. There's a lot of fun stuff happening on them. And one thing is they have suggested uses for the empty box. Okay? And our number 1 of our 6-part series is having it on your wall to show your underlying love for Slice. There's more on there. There's more happening on there. There's the Oath of the SOB, Slice on Broadway. I did not realize that was SOB. And they put my name. They put my name on it. It says, "I, Mike, swear to eat the pizza, the whole pizza, nothing but the pizza." So there you go. If you want to skip to the end of our 6-part series, you can order some takeout from Slice on Broadway, one of their 4 locations, and you can check out all 6 of those recommendations. Thank you to them for supporting the show here on the Wrestling Mayhem Show in Pittsburgh. We'll be back after these messages. Mainstream Matt will come onto the show with the Mayhem Mania acts. Mayhem Maniacs? Yeah, I like that.
Sure.
I kind of like that, actually. We'll be back after this, and I'm going to learn to breathe again.
What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohema, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm going to pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
For a foot or an inch, yeah, I fight for you all. Is the truth and I'm in, yeah, I fight for referee breath.
The world of pro wrestling, it's bigger than ever. So how can you possibly keep up with everything that's happening? Just pro wrestling news. Don't fear falling behind. Give us just 5 minutes every morning and we'll catch you up on the biggest news in the world of pro wrestling. No filler, no rumors, no spoilers, no pop-ups. Just pro wrestling news. Subscribe on your favorite podcast app or tell your smart speaker to play the Just Pro Wrestling News podcast. Find out more. Go to justprowrestlingnews.com.
We are back. We'll hit record on things. That's good too. We are back. It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Did we? Are we good? Are we good over here? I think we're good. We are here with the Mayhem Maniacs are in tow. Of course, from sort of the couch here is Mad Mike still with us. Yeah.
So this couch is comfortable.
Oh, good.
I don't know why I'm leaning forward so much, but the couch is...
I know. I don't know why it seems like you're floating in front of it. But also with us is Jim LaMotta, the voice of Fight Underground, as well as pwmania.com. You do a lot of great stuff over there. So those don't know, like, what kind of articles do people expect from you? You did a preview for one thing leading into the AEW pay-per-view, correct?
Yeah, sort of. A lot of it's op-ed stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I try to stay away from the typical reviews because that's pretty much what everybody puts up.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll cover whatever's going on news-wise, just my 2 cents on it. And then I do some feature stories about some of our friends here in the Pittsburgh area. Just put one up about Nick Wendell.
Nice.
Honor announcer. Did one about Chris LaRusso a few weeks ago. One for the great Joe Mandak, Ring of Honor referee. So between throwing out my 2 cents and doing some career profiles, I keep myself busy over there at PW Mania until the real world gets back and going so I can do some more real world work. But, yeah, man, stop. There you go. There it is. Betting on yourself, the Nick Wendell story. I thought that was clever.
Yeah, go check out some great stuff over there. I know some of the videos that we put out there have been featured on some of your stories, so I appreciate that. So, yeah, you did a great one on Dean Radford. I'm sorry, Dash Bennett. You did Dean a while ago, right? And Dash Bennett was the most recent from that group, right? So
yeah, and the Dash Bennett story was pretty interesting too, because for a guy that had been out of wrestling completely and just was not around for 6 or 7 years, I believe, to make his way back around, it was a much more interesting story than I expected it to be, just because I didn't know what he was up to in the time that he wasn't involved in wrestling. And he's a family, and he's a successful family guy and successful in business. So that's similar to the things that I give my 2 cents on with whether it's pay-per-views or new signings with guys. Even with even with the career profiles, I try to make sure everybody has their own unique story, their own unique spin, and I think it's a good way to get some stories out there that otherwise might be overlooked simply because it's on the independent level. So it's not all about what's going on nationally.
Yeah, I think it's good to get that out there. So, some great stories there, and of course you've been part of the Fight Underground and Rise Wrestling as the commentary with that, often teamed with the great former NWA North American champion Paul Atlas himself. I was making sure I get that right. So
always, and I appreciate him, and I appreciate Dombrowski for putting up with me for a few years because I learned a lot from him.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to Jay Worth because he's the man too. He's a great announcer, much better than I am. So I'm just happy to have my humble place in like the 4th or 5th position of announcers in Pittsburgh. I'm content with that middle spot. I can live with it.
Hey, enjoying the mid card. That's good. That's good. At least you're on the card, right? So
I just want to be fucking eaten, brother. Just give me a spot. Just give me a spot. You know what I mean?
there you go. There you go. Well, very excited about that. I know we've been poking at some ideas, hoping when things opening up, we can get back to some of those ideas we were talking about doing for things like the network and some of that. So, well, it is time for me to hand the keys of the car, or the Mayhem car, over to Mainstream Matt for Mayhem Mania. How are you doing? Are you recovered from last week and the pay-per-view?
Pay-per-view was easy. No problem there.
You finished the shrimp last night on the show. I saw that.
I finished the shrimp cocktail last night on the show. The last of DP's treats were consumed today, and we're ready to move on with our house the way it is. So here we go. This is Mayhem Mania. It is kind of a competitive thought experiment, but this is also the internet's favorite fantasy booking game. Our goal is to create the best WrestleMania card possible within the boundaries of our current reality. And that means every single person that we're using is coming in their current physical, emotional, contractual, pharmacological, etc. state. For example, if someone's injured, you know, obviously they can't be on the real WrestleMania, so you can't try to book them on our pretend WrestleMania. If someone's with another company, you can't put them on our WrestleMania because that's not possible in real life. You see, because you're basically Vince McMahon with, you know, unlimited resources and zero self-control.
So basically,
Vince McMahon.
So basically, Vince McMahon.
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
Basically, Vince McMahon.
Thank you very much. So here's the structure of this goes like so. We've got, you know, Jim, I don't know how much you are up to date on the lore. So I will explain it to you as I would a child. So we have basically the structure of this is we have basically 2 tiers. You have an 8-match undercard where this is where you and our other players tonight will be operating. And then we have a super card. Now, to get to the super card, a match on the undercard has to survive 3 rounds without being altered in any way. Now, incredibly, we are in round 7 of Mayhem Mania this year, and we have graduated a grand total of 1 damn match. And that is, incredibly,
there it is.
Raquel Gunks, and that was created by Tina Keys. So good job by Tina. And hopefully we'll have another match graduate at some point down the line.
Matt, I think you cut off for a second, so let's just restate that was Raquel Gonzalez and Beth Phoenix.
That's right.
Yes.
Raquel Gonzalez versus Beth Phoenix. Now, I mentioned that, you know, basically anyone who is under a WWE contract or within WWE's orbit of influence is fair game to use in this little game. But there is an exception to this. There are a number, and I mean a number of individuals who are off limits for the specific reason that is because they are locked in a place we lovingly refer to as space jail. I will tell you the people who are in space jail, and Jim, you'll remind yourself not to use any of these people when you're making a match tonight. Pat McAfee, Lacey Evans, Charlotte Flair, Asuka, Dominic Mysterio, Brock Lesnar, Shane McMahon, Billy Kay, Velveteen Dream, Austin Theory, Peyton Royce, and Edge. All of them are off limits because they have been put in space jail because one of our players wanted to put them there, and they earned the right to do so at one point during this game. Now, space jail is not a life sentence. They can escape. You may have noticed there are numbers next to the boxes next to some of their names. They are cell numbers, and every week we spin this prize wheel with Mr. Sorg, and we find out if someone will escape space jail. You might think it's not possible, but it happens a lot. So let's spin the wheel, and let's find out if anyone will escape from space jail tonight.
This is my favorite part of the show.
Wheel of space jail, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the lesson that we should learn. Number?
12! 12! Who is 12?
We're good. Space jail remains secure. Thank goodness.
Yes.
Good job, everybody.
Oh, good.
Thanks, Dexter Loomis, for doing your job.
Yay.
Thanks, Dexter Loomis. All right. I will now
oh boy,
run through the undercard matches that we have. Our 8 matches on our undercard, and you will all have a chance to make a single change to one of the following matches. Are you ready, Mr. Sorg?
Oh, wait, what am I doing?
We're going to run through the undercard matches.
Oh, yes, the undercard. Yeah, sorry. I was distracted.
Very
I'm
organized,
sorry. I was playing with the wheel and forgot what I was supposed to do next.
Sorg was desperately trying to get the
I
Iconics
get
out
it.
of jail.
Yeah, I was a little bit.
Oh my God, Sorg! It just stopped on 22 right behind you. Or Edge. Poor Edge.
Edge could have been Edge, man.
Edge was up for parole. Denied.
Yeah, could have been. He spent all his time to come back and land right in space jail. Oh, we're doing the matches, and that starts right here. Okay, there you go.
All right, here we go. Here are the matches on the undercard. These are one of these matches are going to be the ones that you guys are going to be making changes to. Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae versus Dexter Lumis and Indy Hartwell, created by DP. A-Kid versus Dolph Ziggler, created by The Riz. The Demon, Finn Balor versus Aleister Black versus Karrion Kross versus Damian Priest, created by Brandon. Keith Lee versus Pete Dunne versus Cesaro, created by Mad Mike. Kushida versus Shinsuke Nakamura versus Elias, created by Sorgatron. Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss versus Johnny Mundo and Taya versus Bad Bunny and Bailey, created by Alex Cars. This is our designated cinematic match. I'll get into that in more detail in a moment. Let me just finish here quickly. Adam Cole versus Daniel Bryan, created by Heel Bradley. And finally, Big E versus Bronson Reed, created by Tina Keys. So when we're talking about making changes to these matches, basically you could swap one individual or team out for another team or an individual. You could do that in the card, so you can do a trade 1-for-1. You could swap A-Kid for Daniel Bryan and get him, switch between their two matches so they'd be facing different people. You can bring someone in from off the card to swap a person off of the card. You can, delete a match entirely and create a new match with entirely new people. And you can also add an individual to one of these matches. So instead of being a 4-way, it could become a 5-way or whatever. Sometimes it gets carried away. I will also remind everybody the subtract option is still out there. So if you wanted to downgrade one of these matches from a 3-way, 4-way down to a 2-way or 3-way, that would be a move you could make. And finally, as you see in the upper left, there is this little square up there. That's the cinematic match slot. Now, I know we all love cinematic matches here, but if you wish to put a different match into the cinematic match slot, and it happens to be one of the other matches that are on the card currently, you can swap those matches, basically their positions on the card. So in theory, if you just felt like, I got to have this Daniel Bryan versus Adam Cole match, in a dark warehouse, in a dark, foggy warehouse, then you could swap that out and, make this ridiculous 3-way tag team match with Bad Bunny and The Fiend and Taya and everyone, and that would just be a match. And wouldn't that be nice? So here we go. 5 players tonight. I have said enough. Tonight's players, the order of play will be Alex will lead us off. Then we will go to Bobby. Then Sorgatron will make his move. And then Jim will make his move. And then Mad Mike will make the final move, batting cleanup under the application of the Alex Cars rule. It's complicated, Jim. I don't want to get you bogged down anymore. I will also remind you we have a 90-second shot clock. So, Alex, is there anything else you feel like I should mention here, Sorgi? Have I gone through everything?
I don't know. Jim, are you good? Are you up with this?
Yeah, I'm here, brother.
Okay.
All right, let's do it. All right, let's not waste any more time. Anything else we run into, we can fix as we're going through.
Okay.
Okay. We've said enough. Alex, are you ready?
Yes. Before I make my move.
Then I will tell you that your 90 seconds begin now.
Excellent. I do want to address the fact that I think it's cool that Alex Cars starts this and Alex Cars rule ends this round. So I'm going to make my move very simple, very plain.
Okay.
And I'm going to add. Let me make sure I got this read correctly. Okay, yeah, I'm going to add Roman Reigns to the Kushida versus Nakamura versus Elias match.
Okay.
The head of the table will not be disrespected.
Jeez. Okay.
We've got to
Done.
get the big dog on this card. Okay.
Easy, done.
There goes.
Good.
Stand by. blink. Okay. We're in there. Alex, man.
It's like you weren't expecting that.
I wasn't ready for that. That was too fast.
And I will throw a quick shout out to Alex Cars, Occupy Pro Wrestling. OccupyProWrestling.com. Please follow his fantastic Twitch recap show that he does several nights a week.
Yield your time to me, Alex. Because I'm at a
Yes, I yield my time to the
gentleman. Yield your time to the gentleman from Johnstown. We can always
Yes,
do that.
I yield my time to the gentleman from Floodstown. Yes.
Okay, very good. Very good. Bobby, are you ready?
I'm at a crossroads, but I'll try.
Okay, Sorg, are you ready? Let's hit the clock. Bobby, your 90 seconds begins now.
Do I use the subtract option, or do I just blow up that match altogether?
I'm just excited to see you book a match without using Asuka or the Iconics. This is going to be interesting.
I know.
Yeah.
You know what? Heck with it. Blow up that match. Take the Finn Balor one and all them other ones off.
Okay.
Wow, that wasn't the match I thought you were talking about.
No, yeah, that was my original match, but just take it off. Cameron Grimes. Invested into a little stock called GameStop. Okay? And you can all kiss my grits. Because he found another person he'd like to go after. A certain host of an upcoming video game network revival.
Oh, no.
He's going to go against Xavier Woods.
Oh, wow.
I like where your head's at.
Okay.
So that match is going to go to the moon.
Bobby, you just killed a move I was going to make.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to blow up that other match. Make a new one.
No,
we had to get some work done here. This can be a messy process sometimes.
So, but you can all kiss my grits.
Kiss my grits.
All right. I yield my time to the next person.
Thanks, Bobby.
Sorg.
Good job. It is Sorg. Sorgatron, you're up.
All right, I'm going to do something that's going to piss some people off because Johnny Gargano and Elias are already being used, so I'm not gonna mess with that too much.
Sorg's like, I have three people.
I don't like where this is going.
Watching you guys really having this stretch here. So.
I am going to remove.
I don't like where this
the
is
entire match.
Oh no!
Of A-Kid and Dolph Ziggler. We can relegate that to a main event show.
All right.
I'm going to replace it with. I'm sorry, Bobby.
Don't apologize.
Hold on. I want to make it. I think I just checked Space Shell to make sure this happened. Randy Orton.
Yes. Oh no.
Versus.
No, he escaped Space Shell.
Versus Papa Shango.
Oh, okay. I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
I have questions.
Black goo.
Black goo.
Hey, you know what? I'm actually okay with this.
This is a preferable outcome for me, actually. Also,
yeah, this is lovely.
Could we have done Randy Orton versus Randy Orton?
I addressed that. I believe I addressed that I think I tweeted last Monday. Yes, there is a precedent for this. Because I don't know if you'll remember, there were a few years ago. I think this was during the run. Yeah, this had to be during the run-up to the last WrestleMania in New Orleans. When Braun Strowman was refusing to reveal who his tag partner would be.
Yeah, Braun
He brought up Braun Strowman.
That's
and
right,
sure enough, Braun Strowman got himself booked in Mayhem Mania. So the precedent has been set.
Juan Cena before that too.
Yeah.
Yes,
Now,
yeah.
I think I stated that you would have to do them in I think we said we would have to do it in separate matches, but you know what? The deep fake technology is so good. I think you would have to make it the cinematic match if you're going to do Randy versus Randy.
We have the technology now.
But if you're going to do a cinematic match, there's extra leeway for.
All you have to do is put someone in that Mr. Wrestling 2 mask, and it'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point too.
I don't know. I haven't seen Randy.
I
haven't seen Randy Orton and Randy Orton in the same room. So.
Good God. Sorry, that was lovely. I really enjoyed that one. I can't wait to make the
art for that one.
For that one.
Yeah,
too.
I was thinking of you for that one too. Yeah.
But setting that high bar. All right, Jim. Mad Mike's on deck. Jim, I assume you've got a real good feel for this, and you're ready to pounce on this card here now.
Matt, real quick. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry,
Bobby.
Jim. I was gonna say, don't get a virus looking for that PSD of Papa Shango.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try. I'll be very careful. I'll wear gloves while I'm searching the internet for that image. Jim, are you ready to go? You got this?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorg, hit the clock. Let's go, Jim. What you got?
Drew McIntyre is not in space jail, is he?
Nope. He is free and clear.
Okay, so I'm going to do a swap. As much as I love Daniel Bryan, we're going to get rid of Daniel Bryan. We're going to do Adam Cole versus Drew McIntyre.
Ooh.
Excellent.
Ooh.
All right, there
like
you go.
it.
That's how you play the game. Good job. Good job.
Okay.
Very good. Very good. All right.
Adam Cole goes over.
Of course. Why
And,
not?
and he's booking it. And he's a producer on the match too.
I mean, there's no chance McIntyre hits him with the Claymore. He's too tall. Cole would just go right over his head every time.
Ooh, good point from the chat room. Regular versus symbiote Randy.
Yes.
Or as
versus deep fake Randy.
Or symbiote if you go by the latest Venom movie.
Okay.
No, they changed it.
Oh,
They changed it.
Wait, they changed it back?
Yeah, they changed it to symbiote.
Symbiote.
Yeah,
Yes.
symbiote.
I don't know. I'm just trying to keep up.
It's all good.
I don't know who owns Spider-Man. I don't know what's happening.
All right, Jim. Okay, thank you very much.
Excellent.
Jim, that was quick and easy. Mad Mike, are you ready?
I think so.
All right. Sorg, 90 seconds. Your time starts now.
Okay. First, I was gonna take out the A-Kid versus Ziggler match and make one of my own,
I did it for you.
but Bobby used someone I was going to use. I was going to give us finally what we all want: Xavier Woods versus Reckoning. I was gonna do it, but
You can still do it.
no, I like where Bobby's head's at, and I don't want to invoke. I respect Bobby too
I
much.
could
to book
come
her.
back next week.
I know, Bobby. You can
Bobby doesn't have plans, so.
Bobby, you can come back anyway.
Bobby,
I respect your power as a booker.
Bobby F. J. Town is the Fuego del Sol of the Wrestling Mayhem show.
The
Exactly.
Bobby FJ Town rule. I can just show up when I want.
Now I forgot
Bobby
the
del Fuego.
subtract. I forgot the subtract option was still in play,
40 seconds.
so I could revert something to an original match that I had.
Oh, yeah.
I could,
Yeah.
but I've been burned by trying to do that before. So I'm not going to do that. The subtract play will still be an option. I'm going to swap, Matt. Team for
Yes.
team.
Let's do it.
I'm going to swap the team of Bad Bailey for the team of Mr. and Mrs. Wrestling.
We're talking about Johnny and Candace, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just
Because
making sure.
now I want the Firefly Funhouse, that door, I want that to lead to Johnny Gargano's dining room.
Oh, my.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Where salad is thrown.
So the final matches would be, for the audio,
The final matches would
Okay,
be
here we
The
go, we
Fiend
got
and
that,
Alexa
yeah.
Bliss versus Johnny Munda and Taya versus Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae.
that's cinematic.
And that's the cinematic match. And the other match I'll be making is Bad Bunny and Bailey versus the team of Dexter Wrestling or Indy Loomis, however you want to call it.
Yes. Okay. All right.
I'm okay with this because Bad Bailey's still on the card. I'm
Yeah,
fine with it.
that's what
That's
I'm
right.
like. I don't want
You
to crush
scared
anybody.
me.
I don't want to crush anybody's feelings. I'm like, you know what? I actually kind of like that match better.
You honored and respected and made something new.
That's Sorg. It's a time of healing. Nature
This-
is healing. I'm
this-
healing. We're trying to all.
This
heal.
is not a Mad Mike
This
and
round is way too friendly, and
Yeah.
this is not how the game is played.
Yeah, this is a
But,
Mad Mike and Mayhem
we'll let
Mania.
it slide this time. I will.
You can
quickly
all kiss my
recap-
grits still.
Kiss my grits to the moon. All right, I'll quickly recap the matches here now. Our cinematic match is now The Fiend and Alexa Bliss versus Johnny Mundo and Taya versus Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae. Bad Bunny and Bailey versus Dexter Loomis and Indy Hartwell. How will I explain that to everyone? Big E versus Bronson Reed. Randy Orton versus Papa Shango. Drew McIntyre versus Adam Cole. Cameron Grimes versus Xavier Woods. Keith Lee versus Pete Dunne versus Cesaro. And finally, Kushida versus Shinsuke Nakamura versus Elias versus Roman Reigns.
A lot of teal on that card.
Mhm.
Much more on this coming up on Talking Mayhem Mania. Check your local listings.
I think it's on the Sundance channel.
I
It
heard was on
should
Pop-
be-
Station America.
It
It's
should
on
be
Pop TV right
it
after.
should be
Victory.
10 p.m. on the Wrestling Mayhem Show,
And-
Facebook and YouTube. I did fail to put it on the Facebook. I apologize.
Discovery Plus.
$4.99,
No,
and you
it's
too
it's
can
actually
enjoy.
we're actually on the Mount.
The Mount.
We're on the mountain.
I thought we were on Hulu. I thought we discussed this earlier.
The UPN network.
Wow.
Peacock.
Oh, we're done with that segment. We need to do something else. Okay.
Sorg, I did want to mention one thing.
Yes.
So there's been a little a legend in indie wrestling called the Internet Championship. Not Zack Ryder's, but the Internet title.
Mm-hmm.
Couple buddies of ours are organizing an Indiegogo to have the Internet title remade. Yeah. I have the link. The link's in the chat room. We'll post it in the Facebook group as well. But I mean, the title is, has a sentient wrestling championship belt ever crowdfunded itself? It has now.
Oh,
So
wow.
basically, the belt is asking for a makeover. Is what we're really
The
getting
belt
at.
itself.
Yeah. You can also go to @internet title on the Twitters. You know, the Internet title just tweets many things about itself.
Okay.
Yeah. It's lovely. It's lovely, and honestly, if you can support it, it'd be great. Because, you know, it feels like it needs to be freshened up a bit.
All right, go check it out. Internet title on the Twitter, you said?
Yeah. @internet title on the Twitter.
@internet title. I think I have it. Oh, it follows the Wrestling Mayhem show. That's good to see. That is good to see. And there it is, Internet title makeover, and it's over on the Indiegogo. You can check that out. It's loading for me right now. And contribute to that, please. So, well, I wanted to get a quick update before our usual close. I attempted to last night before. Apparently, we had a blip in the internet because, you know, we're going to decide to do our service resets and for the internet as a company, not us, but our provider at 11:55 p.m. Who could be doing anything important? Us with the Wrestling Mayhem show.
Is that what happened?
Apparently, because I discovered this morning when I came in that also the IndieWrestling.us feed was down from a reset around that time too. So I think it was was it localized? Was it something here with the setup, or was it our internet? I believe it was the internet. So if things are weird when you watched or checked out the video version of last night's show, that's what happened. Podcast shouldn't have noticed. But we are starting to go over. I want to give a cock update.
Sorry. What?
You didn't know what you signed up for tonight. But no, the Peacock. I almost said the Peacock Championship. Jesus.
To be fair, probably not that far away from it.
There are updates. I know, Matt. If I can toss to you, because you went over these for Just Pro Wrestling News podcast this morning.
What are we talking about?
The Peacock updates.
Oh, the cock? Yeah.
Yes.
What specifically did you want to know? There's not going to be an automatic migration of our WWE Network accounts to the cock. So we are going to have to take ourselves and sign up for the cock ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know anything about wrestling fans, you will have to willingly, purposefully, and intentionally sign up for another streaming service.
Yes.
Now, granted, they have scaled down the price of this thing an astonishing rate. You can now get 4 whole months of cock premium for a grand total. I don't know how far to take this.
$69.
No, Bobby. No, Bobby. No, Bobby, no. Bobby,
69 cents.
Bobby, no. Bobby, no.
This is WWE's OnlyFans, isn't it? Because
it kind of is.
This thing is getting
forced
rebranded
everyone to not
within
do
the next
OnlyFans.
year, Sorg. There is no way
And
they're
they
going to let
sign
the wrestling
themselves up
fans
for it.
drag them through the mud like this forever. 4 months of Cock Plus for the low, low price of $9.99 total. So that is literally $2.50 a month for the first 4 months. That's a special offer. That's like a can of Monster.
And that offer expires right before WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's like good
so
for the
if
next
you're gonna
month
do
or so.
it, do it right before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Also, all of you folks should know, if you have Comcast cable or Cox cable, just want to make this any dirtier.
Wait.
If you've got the Cox,
we're just stacking
you
those
probably
cocks.
Wait, Bobby, wait. Bobby, no.
Hold
Bobby, no.
on. Can we get DP on the line? He's the expert in this.
Let Matt finish his lewd joke, please.
Stacking them cocks.
If you already have Cox, you probably are already getting the cock for free.
There's your clip.
I'm serious. We need to get DP in on this because it sounds like this is his area of expertise.
Comcast and Cox
Taking
Cable.
two Cox at once. Cox Cable and the Peacock. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get if you are a Comcast or Cox Cable customer, you most likely already get Peacock Premium for free.
Yeah.
Okay.
What if you have
So
Comcast?
it means you don't have to do anything.
So is that buy two Cox get one free?
Don't complicate this. We are easily confused. Bobby, no. Bobby, no.
I was gonna say.
I got you over you attack.
I was just gonna say I have Comcast. I mean Comcast.
We have an update from
I could
DP.
not get the link up. You know what, DP? Our DP says in the chat. Quiet. DP is in the chat. He says, I tried to sign up for Premium Cock and could not get it to link up with my Xfinity.
And it would go in the right hole.
What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And that's the point where his wife hops in and tells us we're canceled. So
I haven't tried myself to, because I'm in the same boat. I'm a Comcast customer, and
same.
And I've gone and I have the Peacock app.
Ruth just hopped in, said we're canceled.
Yeah, we did.
that's what I said. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. My wife just texted me and said to lower my voice. I'm getting
The boys are
Y'all are getting
sleeping.
in trouble.
And
Why do you think I'm saying this?
And Tina says, "Thank God for your earbuds."
I've not tried to link my Xfinity account to the Peacock yet.
Yes.
I don't know how that's going to go. Knowing Comcast, it's going to be complicated.
It was fine for. I forgot that I did it.
Oh, you did it. Good job.
Yeah. Like I don't know. But also my iPhone and everything is like kind of set to automatically sign in to if there's any chance for like a cable provider. Like I have a default for login. So that might be why it was easy for me versus other people if you went to the website. Yeah, no, check that. I mean, it should work. So, and there might be, you may also need to be a certain tier, but I think it's a tier that generally everybody that has like the most recent cable box.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you have to have a certain.
It's like the X1, you know,
to get the cock. But you, I don't know why I went on my way for that one. You have to have a certain cable package. In order for the Peacock Premium to be included, but most likely you are.
Yeah, not every package accepts the cock.
Not every package is going to get you the premium.
I'm just glad you got. I just want to say that I respect you guys for having the cable companies that'll do this, because my cable company is making me pay to take the. Oh, never mind.
Hey, to be fair, Alex, most of us have to take the cock, and we just put in some extra. That's it.
So the network on Peacock Premium goes live on March 18th. There's an overlap period.
Fastlane will still be on the network.
Fastlane will still be on and then the original WWE Network, as you know it right now, and the app will remain active until April 4th.
Yeah. 4th, yeah.
And then the app will probably cause your phone to explode. So she's get rid of it by
well, no, you'll probably just
happen.
see like the news and stuff like that.
It's gonna implode.
It says it's going to cease operation. It's going. Wait, no, they said it's going to sunset. Oh,
I mean, they're not even going to give us the second screen experience anymore.
It's gonna turn into tout.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I would be okay with that.
It may turn again. It may turn into a WWE News app or WWE site app or something like that. Like I don't know, because I can't see them pulling that real estate off your phone.
Because
I think they have ticket purchasing through it. So
up, down.
Not
they have merch purchasing.
Yeah, so I don't know why you would do that unless there's like a cost to that. And also consider your WWE app if you are not in the United States. Will still continue. This does not apply to anybody international. Yes. So we have that. The content will be there. Now there is a statement on the content. As expected, we will not have 100% of the same content on day one on the Peacock. To the point where I don't even think they said all of the pay-per-views will be there.
I doubt it.
Not on day one.
Not until SummerSlam.
No, but it will basically it will take until SummerSlam. If I remember this right, for them to be equivalent to what the WWE Network has now.
Yeah, basically they, from what I heard, they have to put all this stuff back in.
Yeah.
Like
Listen,
refile it.
what happens? What happens if?
Ben Mike, how crazy is it? It's so crazy. Isn't it crazy?
Well, consider this. What happens?
It almost feels like they're redoing someone else's work like over again. It's so crazy. Isn't it crazy? It's so crazy, Mike.
It's a lot of I would imagine I mean, they have a lot of hours on there. A lot of content.
Guys, imagine if I decided that we are no longer going to be on YouTube and we're going to take all that stuff down and put it on Vimeo for 500 and what did I say earlier? A lot of fucking episodes. 556 entries. How long are you think that's going to take? Now you're telling me how much does WWE Network have? Like 100,000 hours or something like that?
Thousands.
I'd say I think it's closer to like 70,000 hours or something like that.
That's a lot of stuff to plug into whatever the Peacock system is to take that info and recock it into their system.
Peacock.
Gotta recock the Peacock Sorg. Yes.
So I mean it's not ideal, but it's the deal that they had.
And from what I've heard, the search functionality isn't going to be nearly as good as what it is now.
No, because it's not specialized for what it is with matches and stuff, right? No. So I don't know if there's any.
Well, yeah, no, because like if you go to WWE Network right now and you type in grapefruits, you'll get the grapefruits promo.
Yeah.
Like you'll get that right away.
What concessions are you going to have for that? It'll be interesting, but there will be things you will not like. Where's a conversation? Listen, man. I want to take this because this is a suggestion.
Sorg's like having the dad.
We just had just had a conversation about if something's happening and
we're all gonna get in trouble for saying cock too much.
Expect
we definitely are in trouble.
As my friend Jim over on Fishing Without Bait says, subscribe to it on your favorite podcast player. It's the one that's not about fishing. Fishingwithoutbait.com. Expect discomfort.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Wait, Sorg.
Wow.
Sorg. Are you telling us? Are you telling us that because we're being forcibly, given the cock to expect some discomfort?
Yes.
Is that because it's going in the wrong hole?
God.
No, it's more that there's going to be issues processing the cock.
That's fair. I mean, sometimes it takes a little bit longer to stream this new cock.
Absolutely. Yeah. On that note, now that we have informed you and entertained and made Tina blush, what did you learn from wrestling this week? Jim LaMotta, I feel like you may have just learned something.
I'm not going to comment on anything I just heard.
I love when you throw in the guest right after we have 10 minutes of cock talk.
Yep.
New podcast coming soon.
Now you know
No. The better is when I'm like, and now our sponsor. So, go ahead.
15 be a guest on this show.
What was that?
Now you know why it took me 15 years to be a guest on this show.
We'll see you in another 15, Jim. Thanks a lot. No, what'd you learn?
I learned you cannot overhype and underdeliver because that's what happened with AEW. And as good as that main event was before the terrible explosion, everyone will remember 5 years from now, AEW Revolution will be the one with the dud exploding ring match. So under promise, over deliver, not the other way around.
All right. What about you, Bobby FJ Town?
Is it safe to come out now?
Oh, that is a turtle puppet. Okay.
Are the bad words gone? There's a puppet on the screen for those listening with audio. I learned that Shane McMahon's a bully. And I don't want to see that match at WrestleMania because I know it's going to happen.
No.
You don't want to see Shane get shot out of a cannon, Bobby?
That's what it's going through.
If only. Alex Cars, what'd you learn?
Well, on the topic of AEW Revolution, I learned that Eddie Kingston's gonna have a lot to sell this Wednesday and going forward.
I can't wait for
But
that
if there's
promo.
but if there's anybody that can do it, it's gonna be Eddie. Because let's not forget, Eddie can cut a promo on a cookie.
Oh, that's amazing. That promo on the cookie.
So he will be able to sell what the heck we saw happen at the end of that pay-per-view. And I am here for it because I am definitely an Eddie Kingston mark, and I'm not afraid, and I'm not ashamed to say it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. What we got left here, Matt Carlins? What'd you learn?
I tell you what, I was going to talk about. Hey, can I say two things? I mean, I just go piggyback off what Alex said.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, the deal, I felt so bad at the end of Revolution.
Yeah.
But if there's anybody on this earth who could find their way out of this mess, it's Eddie Kingston, Jon Moxley, and Kenny Omega. I mean, if you're going to put three guys in that situation, those are probably the three guys you want. All right, I'm here to tell you that the New Japan action figures have finally been released out of Japan. Now, long story, hopefully done short. We wanted to surprise our son for Christmas by getting some of these things, but they were delayed interminably in Japan. But now they are finally arrived. And look at this sweet packaging. I just had to show this off.
Nice brown box with a brown box with the logo. Yeah.
With the Lion Mark logo on it, and you see printed on the front. Because you got Okada. Now look at this. Get this bad boy. You pull it out. It's got this.
Whoa! Oh, double boxed.
Nice.
Look at this. Look at this, and it's got
looks
this.
like a blue.
Now,
it looks like a Blu-ray.
Ari, you just kind of like now he's not in here because we took him out, but like I had to keep the box.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
like, the packaging is unreal.
That's fantastic.
So, and then here we go. I'll just show you guys. There he is.
Well,
he comes with the damn belt. Look at him, so pretty.
There he is.
There he is, Okada. So, looking forward to Okada is gonna be running wild on Mason Mania, coming soon to your Twitter feeds. Rainmakers for everybody. No one's safe. So, but this,
and by the way, Matt, keep me posted if it's okay with the wife if I mail you a box of those poppers, so you can have your own exploding barbed
I'll
wire.
let you know if he starts to ask about them. But he was a little bit overwhelmed by the.
We discussed on the Monday show the idea of simulating the exploding death match ring with those little throw poppers.
Yeah, those little throw poppers. Like if you scotch tape them to a barbed wire board and then throw a figure onto it, if those explode.
I mean, I kind of want to see. I kind of want to like just try it and get my iPhone and like do the super slow-mo with the iPhone, just kind of see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm interested, but not until he's ready. So.
What was why do all of your kids' action figures have burn marks on them?
Yeah, exactly. I don't have to explain that.
Yeah. Get the Austin Theory one and try it with that.
Yeah, that's right. Get one you don't like.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I gotta tell you, like we had a I don't want to go on a tangent, Sword, but what the hell? It's almost 11. So, these action figures take a beating. So you've got like your floppy legged guys who get played with too much. Like the Carl Anderson and Adam Cole figures are notoriously overworked, and they will barely even stand up right now because they're just they're overworked. But it got to the point, it got a little bit too rough one night, and the Luke Gallows action figure split in half at the waist.
No.
And his body, and we have not we've not done it. This was weeks ago, and there has not been a proper burial. His body parts are still lying strewn around the room, just where they fell, and he's just like, not this.
And
he's just like, that didn't happen.
You need to have a boneyard match with him.
Oh well, you need to have a by God he was broken in half.
I mean, he's gone.
Yeah.
So.
Matt, you should have him make one last run in and take a massive bump.
Yeah.
And then have the massive bump be filmed in slow-mo and just have it break apart upon him.
That would be shocking for the viewers at home.
Just tie firecrackers to him. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, when I was a kid, I had X-Men figures.
Yeah.
And I had a Carnage figure, a Spider-Man figure, but a Carnage figure like exploded. Like his head fell off and his like body opened up, and it's just like all his arms and legs fell apart.
Oh man, I mean, I remember like the first time you realized like you cracked open like your GI Joe and you figure out what was inside of there. That was mind blowing.
Rubber bands.
You were like, oh my gosh, is that why his legs fell off? That makes a lot of sense now, I guess.
Yeah, but it was the X-Men Wrestling Federation was like fond memories for me.
Oh my gosh, I want to see those matches.
Cyclops used to kick out with his like laser blast.
Oh, that's so good.
It's
That's
great.
exactly what should happen.
Jeez, man. Mad Mike, what'd you learn?
I learned. I watched 2 documentaries on the WWE Network this week. One I can't recommend enough, and one I would never recommend to anyone. I watched the Goldberg at 54 documentary. It's only 20 minutes. 20 minutes of my life I will never get back. I learned that the Goldberg said that one of the first times he enjoyed wrestling was when he wrestled Drew McIntyre. And to that I say, fuck you, William. If you don't enjoy it, stop fucking up my programming. And yes, I called him William because...
Get off my lawn.
Yeah, exactly. I also watched the Heaven documentary about a female amateur wrestler who won high school state championship. That was fucking delightful. It's also about 20-25 minutes. It's a new docuseries that they're doing like outside of WWE documentaries, and it was just lovely. It was absolutely great. I was a little concerned when the first thing they said about Heaven, which is the girl's name, was that she loves to bake. I'm like, oh boy, this could be bad. But it's really, really good. It's a very, very fine watch, especially for anyone who digs amateur wrestling and stuff like that. Just fantastic to watch all the way around.
Good. We got from the chat room here, and by the way, those are free, aren't they? Like they're not on the pay part.
I don't know. I mean, I don't.
From the ad, I think they said they're on the free
yeah.
part of it. So it might be worth looking, even if you haven't done that and you haven't cocked up yet.
Yeah, I would definitely just check it out. Like,
Yes.
it's really, really good.
From the chat room that I just closed. There it is. Tina says, what I learned is how I wanted the match of Prince Pretty versus the Shelty Slayer.
Yes.
I'm not aware of the Shelty Slayer.
That is happening on WrestleMania weekend. Is for the left right championship.
Okay.
It's Tyler Breeze versus Mia Yim.
Oh.
Because Tyler Breeze is your current reigning, defending for over a year left right champion.
And she also mentions Lee Moriarty beating Warhorse for the IWTV Championship. Fantastic. I'm never
Go Lee, go.
I'm never going to film Lee Moriarty again because he's going to be in way more important places than I am. Partner learned that he was canceled in his own house.
Excellent. No more DP tonight.
No more DP tonight. I learned Makito! I hope that got on camera. I hope that got on camera because I closed my eyes when I did it. There it is. Thank you. This is the show where we can do that. Some other
might go around and all do the Ito pose.
There you go. Yeah. Hey, Makito. Makito Dark Order. So
can I go back out now?
Maki Ito should honestly just run the Dark Order at this point.
Also, I learned the Big Show is mad at Shaq's entrance to the ring. You guys can see the BTE clip where they showed because Shaq went under the top rope, and they shot the Big Show in the back saying, well, that's fine. I'll just go over the top rope. So
I thought that was weird that he went under the
It was
top,
weird because he doesn't understand that he should. Nobody told him to.
That's not true because when he was in that Battle Royal, he went over the top rope to enter the ring.
Where's Shaq's body?
What's that?
Where's Shaq's body at?
Yeah, we're still figuring that out. Definitely.
I thought there were going to be like an unsolved mystery basketball update.
He was on Inside the NBA the next night.
Oh, good, they found him.
Don't worry, Marvez is on the case.
Or was it Randy Orton?
He walked out from Daly's place right to the studio wherever they do the Inside the NBA.
Or was it Randy Orton?
It just blocked off. He was like, forget this. I got a show to do.
Is that in Jacksonville?
I don't know.
I feel like that's a night.
I don't know geography.
Oh, he's over there on Alex time. He is Alex Cars. OccupyProWrestling.com. Go check out that fine site. As well as go check out who the hell is on here on the call anymore. Bobby F. J-Town does things at Bobby F. J-Town on the Twitter. Mainstream Matt is doing the fine Just Pro Wrestling news. podcast. Hear his voice every morning to cleanse your soul.
And really, who wouldn't want to hear my voice
Black
every morning?
goo.
Black goo.
We're gonna get black goo. Wait, are we gonna
Black
get black
Taurus.
Yeah. There was black goo last night.
Was there black goo last night?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
there
was.
was.
In the middle of the ring.
Oh yeah, there was.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah, you woke up to that this morning. Or excitement over MLW that we'll hear in the morning today. And also Jim LaMotta, Fight Underground, and pwmania.com. Go check out his voice and his writings over on those. Is there anything else you want to plug there, Jim? Anything else happening right now?
On Twitter.
What?
I have no Facebook, no Instagram, because there's relatives I don't want to speak to. So at Jim LaMotta on Twitter is the only place you're going to find me. And pwmania.com, usually 3 or 4 new articles a week. Just check out the one I did about Nick Wendell. Check out the rantings I had about the exploding ring match. And be nice to each other. That's my wisdom for the week.
There you go. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Everybody in the chat room, in whatever format.
You always forget me, Sorg.
Mad Mike, because you're always here. There he is. And you're right there on the couch, right across from me, obviously.
I'm sitting right across from you in another universe.
There you go. There you go.
Also, I'm gonna post a link again in the Facebook group tomorrow. If you guys can donate to my friend who's going through a lot with cancer treatment bills. We are over halfway past our goal, and I want to thank everyone from this show that's helped out either by sharing or by donating. It means the world to me and to my friend Lindsay. Like it blows my hair back. We've raised over $6,200 for her.
There you go.
It's wild.
Again, please go check those things out, and support the Mayhemers and the Mayhem universe here. And of course, stay tuned. We will have Talking Mayhem Mania on your feeds. Hopefully, I will not. Sorry, there's been some computer problems and some things didn't get done last week. That's all me. I don't have an intern to blame. And that'll be on an Indie Mayhem show. Will be in your feeds this week, where we are intending to have a conversation with Pro Wrestling Conquest. We will see you guys next week. Thank you. No, that's the wrong show. We'll see you next week. Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.
I've started to make a list of wrestling. You know, we've had the conversation in the past about how it's never just Ricky Steamboat. What? It has to be Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Yes.
Yes.
Like it can't be said in any other way.
Hacksaw Jim
His
Duggan.
real name is Dick Blood.
I know.
Did you know that?
And apparently it wasn't good enough.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thanks, Bobby.
It was.
I knew that, but God, it never gets old.
Black goo.
All right.
Black goo. Dick Blood.
This phenomenon is also in play in the Just Pro Wrestling News podcast. There are certain wrestlers where I will always say the nickname. It doesn't apply to everyone, but I went back and I started to check, and now I'm keeping track of it.
Matt, I have a quick question.
All right.
Do you say Bret the Hitman Hart, or do you say the Hitman Bret Hart?
It hasn't come up yet, but I would probably go Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Bret the Hitman Hart.
Because they would always announce him as the Hitman